decided to teach whoever wanted to learn, regardless of race or gender. This did create a little bit of conflict between myself and the Chinese way of teaching, which was to only teach Chinese. So, what I decided to do was accept a challenge where a teacher would come to my Kung Fu school and challenge me to a fight. We had a fight and I won, but I found that I felt afterwards that I was very disappointed with my performance. So I decided to create a new form of fighting style, a new form of martial art called Jeet Kune Do. Jeet Kune Do. Now, what Jeet Kune Do mean is the way of the intercepting fist, which basically mean if you are going to attack me with a kick, I will intercept it and block it with my foot. If you're going to hit me with a punch, I will intercept and block it and counterattack. I decided to incorporate lots of different methods in which to overcome the opponent. I also did a demonstration where I did something I created called the 1-inch punch. The 1-inch punch is where I make a punch from 1 inch away from your body and hit with such force that you fly back. It's all about getting that power from your body and putting the whole thing into it. I then managed to land a part in a TV show called The Green Hornet. I was very happy that this show had given me the opportunity to show off what I could do. However, unfortunately, the show only ran for 1 season before it was cancelled. I then had an idea for a TV show called The Warrior, where I would be going around different parts of the East, facing many different challenges. But unfortunately, The Warrior didn't end up starring myself. It was given to a Caucasian actor, which I was very upset about. However, I don't blame them. I never blame them because it was probably a much safer move for them to do that. Eventually, I got a little fed up with not getting where I wanted to get in Hollywood. So, one of my students and actor, James Coburn, said to me one day, to Hong Kong and make those martial art movies which I'd been offered, then come back because they will take off. So I decided to listen to what he had to say, and I went off to Hong Kong to make my first movie, The Big Boss. The Big Boss was such an incredible success. I was overwhelmed by how big this movie had become. My second movie was called Fist of Fury, or the Chinese connection in the USA. This movie was even more successful than The Big Boss. So, the next project was for me to write my own movie as well as star and direct it. This movie would be called The Way of the Dragon. I got in touch with my friend Chuck Norris and asked him to be in it. I wanted this gladiator type of fight between him and I, and it was going to be in the Colosseum in Rome. He jokingly said to me on the phone when I first asked him about this, he said, "So Bruce, you mean you want to beat the world karate champion?" I said to him, "Baby, I don't want to beat the world karate champion. I want to kill the world karate champion." We did the movie, and the movie was the most successful movie so far. My next project was to be called The Game of Death. Someone was going to kidnap my girlfriend, and I was going to have to get past a style of fighting on each level of a pagoda. Each level had a different style, and I wanted to show my martial art, Jeet Kune Do, as a way of overcoming any other form of style. Except on the very top floor of the pagoda was going to be the style of the unknown, which is going to be a real challenge. What happened is I started to film The Game of Death, but then eventually get a call from Warner Brothers to make a movie called Enter the Dragon. So I did Enter the Dragon, which was a big Hollywood movie and the first full game of death. But I just hope you continue to enjoy everything that I did. I'd like to thank you for watching this video, and I hope you got plenty of tingles from my voice. Jeff Music Man will be back with more videos very soon, but I'm going to do what he does and say, have yourselves a wonderful, peaceful day. Steve McQueen, that son of a gun, he got that toughness in him. He once took me out in his new car and drove around like a maniac around these mountains. I must admit, I was afraid. And I said, McQueen,